Good morning.
A little bit late.
Yeah, we're kind of late. Whatever. It's Monday. Hi. Hello. Greetings, salutations. Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
There's 2 people. There's 8. And
It's going to jump to like 31.
31.
There you go. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday.
What's up? Everything's on fire again.
Everything's on fire.
So there was another incident in the ATL.
That's where I'm from.
And
I got to tell you, when they blocked 285...
Man, that was quite a block, too.
You don't block 285. I'm assuming it was 285. I think it was 285. I don't think it was 75.
No.
75 is like not very many lanes. 285 is like the 50,000 lanes across.
There
and
was
when
a
you
lot of
block
lanes.
that, it's already bad enough to drive around Atlanta. But when you block, no.
So, yeah, there's going to be like a whole new wave of protests because of what happened to this dude, this drunk dude in the drive-thru, passed out in the drive-thru of Wendy's. So it was another shooting incident, which unfortunately resulted in the death of another black man. And so everyone is immediately comparing this to George Floyd, even though the incidents were completely different. And apparently we no longer, as a country, look at things individually, case by case.
No.
We just jump to a conclusion and then decide to burn everything down.
Especially when there's, you just look at the skin color of somebody.
That's what we're doing now.
That's what we're doing.
So that's happening. Mm-hmm. And did you want to talk more about that?
I don't want to talk anymore about it. I don't want to
Okay.
talk about it at all. You
All
think
right.
was it 75, Matt?
I heard it was 75.
Okay,
Wow.
It may have been 75.
And 75 has expandified.
It has. It's big. 285 must be like 15 lanes across now.
God.
Which wouldn't surprise me. I gotta tell you, I don't know how anybody lives in Atlanta. I grew up there, and I went back at Christmas, and I got anxiety. I drove, my mom and I drove into Atlanta, and I immediately was like, oh God, I just can't do it anymore. The traffic.
It's so congested. It is
I
out of
can't do
control.
it. And I grew up there. I just can't. I don't know how y'all do it. Sorry.
It's busy.
It is. It's busy.
So the big news of the day is that Donald Trump's niece is releasing a giant tell-all book about him and how awful he is, just ahead of the Republican National Convention this summer. So that's neat. So there's going to be another tell-all. She apparently is the source.
Yay, another tell-all.
She is the source for the couple years ago New York Times piece that released and leaked some of the financial tax records and stuff. So there's probably gonna be a lot more of that, and like a lot more stories about how terrible he is.
So it's her uncle. So Donald Trump is her uncle,
Right.
And she doesn't like her uncle.
Not at all.
Surprise!
And she's claiming that her mom, Donald Trump's sister, also doesn't like him. The judge.
Is that her sister? Oh, really?
The
Okay,
judge,
that's
yeah.
Okay, that's her
She's
sister.
saying that her mom, the judge, also doesn't like Donald Trump, but is just not as vocal about it. So there's another tell-all.
And she's doing it right before the election. Because she wants to sell some books. Cha-ching!
This is just so... I mean, how many more of these are we going to have?
I don't know.
And how much impact have the ones that have already come out actually had?
Zero impact. 0.0% impact.
Now, the Daily Beast is all, oh, this is a big deal because it's the first time a family member has come out
Well.
to say the bad things. I don't feel like it's going to do anything.
I don't know. Y'all have family members that you don't get along with? Just, curious.
I mean,
There's got to be one or two, right? One or two that if you were famous or if you were in the position that Trump is in, I'm sure there's one or two that may come out of the woodwork that would be like, I don't like you. I'm going to write a book.
especially if there's been a squabble over money
Yeah.
and like inheritance and
I'm
that
gonna
sort of thing.
Try to make some money off of you.
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. There's probably somebody in your family that would probably try to do that.
Yeah. So that's happening.
Ew.
You excited about the new tell-all?
Who's telling all?
Donald Trump's niece is writing a big giant tell-all.
How many people in your family would try to write a tell-all about you?
This isn't about.
I know, right? I know.
Also, big news about CHAZ.
CHAZ, the CHAZ.
Because it's no longer the CHAZ.
Oh, I'm so upset because I really like calling them like Chazonians.
You can. Because the fact that they don't want to be called CHAZ is reason enough right there to keep
call him.
calling him Chaz.
Yeah, they're so Chaz-tastic.
They're Chazerific, you guys.
Yesterday I said they're doing exercises. She says they're Chazercising.
It's Chazercise.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to continue to call him Chaz,
Yeah.
because how else would we be able to say that people are Chazercising? But they prefer to be known as Chop. However,
What does that stand for?
well, I'm glad you asked that, because there's disagreement among the choppers as to what that actually stands for.
Okay,
it's
no.
either Capitol Hill Occupied Protest, or, depending on who you ask, it is Capitol Hill Organized Protest.
I don't think they get to take, because Choppers is like a biker gang, isn't it?
Well, I just call them choppers. I don't think that's how they're referring to themselves.
Yeah.
But Chop, they want it to be called Chop instead of Chaz.
Well, they don't get to do that.
I
We're
mean,
going
it's
to
too
keep
late.
calling them Chaz. They're the Chaz.
They are the ones that hung up the sign that said Capitol Hill Autonomous
Yeah,
Zone.
and somebody said Chazistan. I totally agree.
Yeah.
They're the Chaz. We're going to
and
continue
now,
to call them the Chaz.
Apparently, like over the weekend, it just became this total festival. Like there were street vendors, and like people were just going to visit because it was so weird and just such an anomaly.
Yeah.
And so people are going and they're like, oh, okay, so this is Chaz and there's music.
Y'all are
and-
weird, and yeah.
And that's it.
And then there were naked dudes.
The Naked Dude Show.
Okay, there's a naked dude.
You guys-
need to see the naked dude. Is this the naked dude?
Yep. Turn him up.
There's that in Chaz. Nobody wants to see that.
Do you like living in Chaz?
Huh?
Do you like living in Chaz?
Chaz?
Yeah.
Chaz World?
Slow down, slow down. Slow down, slow down.
Where are you naked? There's an earthquake on the way.
Well, how do you know?
I'm about to die in my own spiritual one. I didn't even get to live to have a millstone hung around my neck.
What do you mean?
What?
What's going on, man? Why are you naked?
Because I got two kids, they need to get naked too.
Why do your kids need to be naked?
Because we're apostles.
What?
We're apostles.
You're apostles?
That's not real.
No, that's real.
That's
No
real.
way.
That's
That's real.
real.
No way.
That's real and spectacular.
I mean,
that's real.
No.
That's
It's a
he's
real dude
inside
running through
Chaz.
the street
It's
naked.
made
Yeah.
up. I'm telling you right now, that's made
No.
up.
No, that
No.
dude is doing some drugs.
Don't ruin this for me, Rob.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's Chaz, y'all.
Chaz seems nice.
That's the
So-
Chaz. He has big man boobs. Yes, he does have moves.
Can I ask a serious question?
Yes,
What?
always.
Why is everything in West Virginia still named after Robert Byrd?
Well, I don't know how long that's going to last because history, I don't know if you realize this is being erased.
Everything's being
everywhere.
erased. Uh-huh.
So everything's got to
Everything's
come
being
down.
erased.
Everything's got to change. We can't
He-
have
he
any
was
kind
literally in the KKK.
of... Right. That doesn't matter, though, because he's a
Yeah.
Democrat.
Yeah.
So he's probably safe.
Are you saying there's different standards?
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That
it's-
part's fine.
We'll see.
Because Democrats like him.
Listen, on that note, Northam still has a job. I don't know if anybody noticed. That guy did blackface, but he's a Democrat, still has a job, and he's lecturing everybody on race. Can we just take a moment?
Yeah, Governor Blackface himself.
Like, what
That
is
makes
that?
all kinds of sense.
That's right. He's a Democrat, so he gets a pass. He gets all the passes.
He gets all the passes.
Is anybody else irritated by that? A little irritated over
Is our
here.
fridge still broke?
Yeah, well, it's being aired out or something. I don't know what. It's not available for use at the moment.
Yeah, you can use our fridge though.
But not anything gross.
chick fridge,
I've
but
waited
don't-
years to hear that.
But don't put anything gross in
Don't
it.
put anything gross in it.
Like what?
Like anything gross, like kale. Don't
Yeah,
put
there's
kale
like
in our
kale here,
fridge.
don't I?
Don't put kale in our fridge.
Nothing that is fishy.
Yeah.
Also, did you guys see the supply list that the Chaz people are in need of? They have
They
quite
need
a list
ice.
going.
They
the
need
good kind.
the good kind of ice.
They need the good kind
They
of
want
ice.
it to be crushed. These people are insufferable.
They had a huge list, and I loved what Dan Crenshaw. I had actually posted this on my wall a couple days ago because Dan Crenshaw said, "I just want to remind all that when you create an autonomous zone, you don't get to demand a long list of supplies from the orderly capitalist society that you are rebelling against. Kind of defeats the meaning of autonomous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
It doesn't really work that way.
we need to cut them off. We need to cut their cell phones off.
They won't because the mayor is completely in favor of this entire experiment.
It's just unbelievable that these people still have cell phone service. Cut off their cell phones. Cut everything off. Make them live like they're in the 1800s. For real.
they'll last about 4 days.
This is the thing. Let them do that. If they want to be so on their own and like their own little society, great. Let them do that. But cut off all their technology because that is capitalist.
But
cut them off.
But see, that's the thing. Is the mayor, unless the mayor decides to, it's just going to continue to do what they're doing.
And you can't give them porta potties. It's ridiculous.
They got them.
That again is capitalist. It's like a civilized capitalist society.
They can't grow a porta potty in their little cardboard gardens.
They can't grow a garden. Have you seen their garden?
I love their gardens.
It's like this big. It's like, how many people is that going to feed?
It's going to feed like somebody's dog for a half second.
It's an AOC garden. Oh my God. There's like seeds and there's water. There's like gross things you got.
Did you guys see the Ramen King? The new dude,
This guy.
this kid on well, I think he's originally from TikTok, but now he's on Twitter and everywhere. It's just some guy 187. That's his name. Just some guy.
Just some guy.
He put out this TikTok video of him making fun of Chris Cuomo for saying, "Show me where it says the protesters have to be peaceful."
Love it.
And so he's eating dry ramen, you guys.
And like
He's
sprinkling the seasoning on top. It's like,
and he's just like pointing behind him where it says on Google what the First Amendment is, where it says peaceably assemble. And so he's like, you gotta,
it's just right
You
there.
just gotta look it up.
It's just right there. You idiot. And I think he calls him Como.
Como.
Hey,
He's
Como.
like, that's all.
Yeah.
And it's 10 seconds, you guys, but it has exploded across the internet.
It's fantastic.
In the most delightful way ever. If you haven't seen it, you really should see it.
It's a thing of beauty, is what it is. I love it when guys eating dry ramen.
I didn't know you could even do that. Like,
Well,
is that...
you haven't lived?
Isn't that dangerous?
I know. I mean, I think eating ramen in general probably is dangerous.
I know, but at least you like
you have
cook
to add,
it.
you add water. It's just water. I'm sure that once
Yeah,
it
but
gets
you're boiling it.
once you get to your belly, it's just all it all just works itself out.
Anyway, that's a thing that happened. And now that guy went from like no followers at all to 55,000 followers on Twitter, just like that, overnight.
Yeah, that's what it takes.
And Dan Bongino wrote to him and he was like, "Can I play that on my show tomorrow?" And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's already everywhere." Yeah. So
he's like, "Yeah, I'm never on Twitter. I'm just over here eating some dry ramen."
he's the hero that we
Whatever.
needed right now.
Yeah. You need to stop being half off camera. Somebody's complaining about you half being off camera. There you go.
Okay.
You need to get in the camera. You need to sit closer.
Is that
to me.
better?
Closer.
Close to you.
Yeah. There we go. Is that better?
You guys,
Are you better?
Are we allowed to say what we're doing this afternoon? Do you think?
Yeah, I think we're allowed
Okay.
to say. I mean, if it doesn't happen, then whatever. At least we had the wish and the hope and the dream of it happening, and we'll share it with all of our people.
So this is kind of exciting.
It's exciting.
We're gonna appear on Dennis Miller's podcast this week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how cool
it
is that,
comes-
right?
I think it comes out on Thursday, but
Yeah.
we're recording today.
We
Which
get
is,
to hang out with them. Hopefully, I'll do the Bernie voice and say, "Hey, Dennis Miller." Yeah, we're gonna talk to Dennis Miller.
which that's that feels pretty cool to me. I don't know about y'all.
Well, we like Dennis Miller. We've met him once in person and gave him our book, and then he forgot who we were. And so
I'm pretty sure that by now,
we
'cause
refresh his
producer
memory.
and I had this huge email back and forth yesterday because he needed to get information about us and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So
he
by
probably
now,
remembers us. We refreshed his memory with
Yeah.
the picture and stuff, and so
I mean, because we're unforgettable. Like if you just see a picture of the time that you met us, then you're like, oh yeah,
And
they
you're like,
were really
I remember
nice.
those crazy chicks. Yeah, yeah.
So if you're a listener of the Dennis Miller podcast, then definitely listen this week because
Yeah.
it's going to be us.
I think
is
it'll be a
kinda
lot
cool.
of fun. Yeah, we really because I remember from the '80s. I used to watch him on Saturday Night Live. So great.
Remember the movie that he did with Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
What was it?
The Net.
The Net.
He
when
was
the
in The
internet
Net.
was like a brand new thing.
He was also in Joe Dirt. Y'all remember that? He was the
That's
radio. He
right.
was the radio guy in Joe Dirt. I saw that on TV a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That's right.
He's been in a lot of just bit pieces in movies and stuff.
And
He's
remember,
done-
he was in Disclosure where he played Michael Douglas's best friend. That was like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
He was in that.
He does. Somebody said bring your thesaurus. He has a really good reference pool.
Oh, my God.
He's brilliant. Brilliant guy.
Like, it's the kind of reference pool where at least twice, I'm guessing today, he'll say something and I'll go,
And then,
pretending I know what he has, but pretending I know what
and
he
then like
means.
when we get off there, she'll be like, "What the hell does that mean? What the hell did he say?"
I'm like,
And then
I do
she'll
not
be
get
looking
that
it up, going or googling it. What
I
is
didn't get
that?
that reference
What-
at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be me today.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where y'all are, but we have had the most spectacular weather in Indianapolis.
It's been fantastic.
It's like, I don't even know what's going on. It's been San
Just
Diego here.
Don't jinx it.
No, we've got another 5 days of this. I
Okay,
think.
don't jinx it because
Okay,
it's gonna
knock
be.
all that
It's
wood
gonna
right
be. It's not even real wood.
That's not the wood right
It's
there.
not.
Is that wood?
I'm knocking on all like all the fake wood, you guys. Okay, we're talking more about today how everybody's getting canceled. All the cancel culture
Yeah.
in our society. There was the Lady Antebellum stuff from last week.
God, I love that story so much.
How, like
'Cause
they're
remember
starting
when-
to eat their own now. Like liberals are starting to like
you
go
guys
after each
hear?
other.
Did you guys hear what happened? So
Uh-huh.
we said last week that they changed their name to Lady A because, of course, you can't have the word antebellum in or around your person.
Uh-huh.
And so they were like, oh my God, that's super racist, so we got to change our name. They didn't bother to check on the Google machine first that maybe somebody else already uses that name. And as it happens, it's a black woman from Seattle
Oh,
who
damn.
totally sings about racial injustice. She has been using the name Lady A. She even has another album coming out soon. She's been using Lady A for over 2 decades.
She's like, hello.
and she's
Hello.
now saying that the fact that the band didn't reach out to her first is an example of their white privilege. So they are getting completely punished for their wokeness,
Yeah.
and I am here for it.
I just cannot deal with this. Is what happens when you try to be all woke.
This is what happens. This is what they get, and I think it is perfect. I love that they're having
Yeah,
this.
it's pretty fun.
I hope there's lawsuits.
Yeah.
I hope they have to pay a total huge big pile of money.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they deserve.
Dukes
I'm
of
sorry if you like them.
Dukes of Hazzard is being probably going to be removed from Amazon. You guys remember the Dukes of Hazzard, like the old Dukes of Hazzard, the one in the 80s that like
There's
I
a
grew
new
up
one?
on. Yeah, Jessica Simpson was in it. With
I thought that was just a
with
video.
Johnny Knoxville. No, that was a movie.
Oh, I thought that was just
You-
like her music video.
No. She was in a movie with
Oh my
Johnny
God.
Knoxville, and I don't know who the blonde dude was,
Wow.
but yeah, she was. So that I'm sure they're gonna get
Why did they remake that?
because the side of the General Lee has the Confederate flag on it. We can't have that.
So they're just removing the
They're
entire
just gonna
show.
get rid of the whole show. They're gonna pull it from IMDb because of the flag's connection to racism
Wait a
and
minute.
slavery.
IMDb? That's just like a historical capturing of.
They're gonna pull 7 seasons of the show from IMDb.
But they can't like
IMDb
pretend it's never
IMDb
existed.
TV is what they're saying.
Oh, okay. I thought
So
you
they're-
meant like the database.
I
Like
don't
they're
know.
gonna
Maybe
just
they'll pull
pretend
it.
it never
I
happened.
wouldn't doubt that they would do that too. Just pretend it didn't happen.
You can't do that.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of like all this stuff. I mean, so much stuff that they're just deleting. They're deleting everything. So
Well,
Amazon's
now
getting
Howard
rid of
Stern,
that.
you know, the
Howard
clip is
Stern
floating around of him doing the blackface.
doing blackface
and like doing
Yeah.
it really tastelessly. I mean, as tasteless as you can be when you're already being tasteless enough
And
to do
he's
blackface.
he's Mr. Liberal woke now.
Yeah,
and he
so-
hates. He's like Donald Trump is a racist. Really, really, Howard Stern.
So that is going to be. If you haven't seen the clip that's been flying around,
Yeah, let's see how he deals with that.
it's pretty bad.
Starbucks has flipped its stance on the whole BLM apparel because remember last week we
Yeah.
were talking about how they said you can't wear that stuff at work because we just don't let anybody wear political stuff at all. And now they're like, no, you can go ahead and wear BLM stuff.
In fact, let's produce some. Let's
Yeah.
make some for you to wear.
Let's do that.
That's how much they turned around. Because right now, corporations are like really trying to woke it up. I mean, so many of them are laying it on really thick right now, trying to, appease their customer base.
Yeah.
So,
There's also
That's happening.
another example of cancel culture is what's her name? Meghan Markle's best friend. She got a job at Good Morning America. Her name is Jessica Mulroney. And apparently they're saying that was an example of white privilege.
the fact that she got the show.
I think the fact that she got the job.
I thought she said something. Like she said something offensive, and so they were like, nope, you're going to have to go.
And that's white privilege or something? Yeah.
Because she ended up apologizing for whatever it was.
She
She exhibited textbook white privilege and
privilege.
problematic behavior because
Because she said something
she
about...
said something.
And this is Meghan Markle's best friend.
Oh yeah, so she intimidated some other blogger.
By saying what?
I don't exactly know, but she apologized publicly to that blogger, and then in direct messages was like, "I'm going to sue you." So she's
Okay, so how does that white privilege?
well,
How I don't understand.
I'm sure there's a way because
Oh,
she is
okay.
white. So there you go.
So
That's all I'm
So if
saying.
you say you're going to sue somebody, that's white privilege? Is that what that is now?
She has not done enough when it comes to engaging in the important and difficult conversation around race and injustice in our society. She has been silent, and
Okay.
that is not okay
So
for a
she's-
white famous person.
So she's losing her job. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then there's this other lady who's also, I think she's losing her job. There's a principal who,
Oh yeah, this is a terrible story.
yeah, her name is Whitney Young. Is that right?
No, that's the school.
Okay, I'm
Her
sorry.
name is Joyce Kenner.
Her name is Joyce Kenner. And she was the principal at Whitney Young. I apologize.
This is in Chicago.
Yeah, and she said, I want to make sure I get this right. She said, if students do protest, they should. Let me make sure I get this right. Where's the actual?
She said, like,
where's
she
the-
asked students, if you're going to protest, don't loot or riot.
Yeah, the seek change by getting a degree and getting a seat at the table.
And don't, like, do illegal crap.
Yeah, like don't
So
loot and
obviously
protest. Like
she's
get
gotta be fired.
like get educated and get a seat at the table. That's what she said. And this is a black woman. And
You can't do that.
And
you can't
people-
tell people not to riot.
yeah, don't riot. But
What's wrong with you?
But get a seat at the table. Like go become a CEO or go, get your like
do something of value.
yeah. And she said that she dared to say that, and she got in trouble.
Because you can't say obvious things now. Because that's racist.
Like what?
So, don't say obvious things. Just don't.
So that happened. That happened. She got fired for that. So the world has gone kind of crazy.
It continues on its downward slide.
So we're all going to hell in a handbasket, y'all. Here's the handbasket.
And there's us right in
We're
it.
right in the middle.
We're right just hanging
It's-
out in that
We're like,
basket.
woo, going right to hell.
It's just bad.
This is what's happening. I don't, so
That's
that
just bad.
I don't, and I'm sure she's thinking, wow, here I am. I became an educator to help students and to tell them, hey, you can achieve amazing things. And now she's being told, you can't tell kids that. You can't tell that they can achieve amazing things.
That is racist.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to say.
I guess if she would have encouraged looting and riots,
then
then it'd be fine.
she would have gotten tenured. I
If that's how that works.
don't understand.
Yeah, so would love to have come back on a Monday to say over the weekend we somehow magically transformed into a much more civilized society. That did not happen.
No.
Oh, and you guys, if you haven't read the most recent Wall of Shame,
Oh,
we
it's
did
epic.
have an addition to the Wall of Shame this weekend.
Yeah, the chick that wrote us, she was over the weekend.
So snooty.
Well, I mean, it's just so textbook, right?
yeah.
It's the same crap. She was just like, I don't know how any self-respecting woman can vote for Trump. I'm so sick of these broads that write us and they
Who
say
think that they're saying like original things.
oh my god, it's like please just say something original, and then they just belittle us. They just it's like you can have your own opinion, but
But here's why you're dumb.
But here's why you're dumb, and you're blonde, and you're this, and you're that, and you're basically our Stepford wives, and blah 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 blah. And so I'm just like, and then she was mad because she apparently thought that we were harassing her on Facebook when she doesn't know how to use the freaking internet, and she's trying to lecture us on everything. And so I
Those
was
are
like,
my favorite.
I was like, Mock, do you want to do this? Because I'm gonna.
And
say
I already have.
I was like, she had already done
I'd already
it.
done a whole post
And
about
she's
it.
like, I already did the post. It's on the Wall of Shame. I'm like, great, because I would have said all the words.
That was like fresh meat for me.
God,
When I
it's
get emails like that, I'm just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, so it's a really epic Wall of Shame post.
Yeah, because
These chicks.
she was all. So I'm gonna need you to. I did not choose to be part of your Facebook messaging, and I was like, well, you kind of did.
You kind of did.
because you commented
You
or
kinda
engaged
did.
in some
See,
way.
you may want to remove yourself from the internet because you don't know how to use it.
So anyway, those are my
Swear.
favorite. So that's also on our website, chicksontheright.com. You should listen to our regular radio show, which is from 9 to 11 Eastern on WIBC.com. And yeah, so we're gonna be hanging out with Dennis Miller this afternoon.
Yeah,
no big deal.
no big deal. No big deal.
No big deal
It'll
at all.
be really great. It's like, it kind of stinks because I don't think it's going to be a video thing. I think it's going to be all audio.
It's audio.
It's too bad 'cause we would have been like, let me take a selfie. And we would have like sent it
But
to
we
you guys.
do have selfies with him.
We do. We have a picture with him.
So-
We do. But we don't. We're not going to be on video today. We'll just be audio. So hopefully it'll be great. And
I
we
think
won't,
it'll be fun.
And we won't screw it up.
And we'll understand all the references.
Yeah. We'll do our
I'm
best.
a little nervous about
We'll
that.
do our best, you guys. We'll have a good time.
It'll be great.
Yeah, you guys, bring it in. Bring it in! We hope you have a fantastic Monday. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.